What is up, YouTubians? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 2 of what I am calling Don't Believe the Hype.
Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Yes.
Yes, indeed. Don't Believe the Hype is my new little mini-series where I'm talking about hardware that is not being hyped at the moment. Maybe some of the older hardware, maybe some of the hardware that's gone under the radar, maybe some of the hardware that is still out there, still doing the job, but isn't being bummed by everybody at the moment. So today is part 2, episode 2 of this little series, and it's kind of a follow-on from the first one. Yesterday, I reviewed the Smoant Battlestar Squonker. I talked a little bit about the RDA that comes in the kit, but mostly it was about the mod. I got this mod a while ago. I never put a build in the RDA, so I thought probably it was about time that I did. And that's what this episode is about. It's all about the Battlestar RDA. So, the Battlestar RDA. You can buy it on its own or it comes in a kit with the Battlestar Squonker. It is a dual coil 24mm RDA designed purely for dual coil. You could, I suppose, put a single coil in it, but I don't think it's going to work the best. So dual coil only, or humbucker as I like to call it. Sorry, shitty little joke for the guitarists amongst us. Let's dive down for a closer look at this RDA. Let's stick a build in it and then let's vape on it. So here is the packaging that my Battlestar RDA came in. Of course, you can buy the RDA on its own and that obviously would come in different packaging. This is what mine came in. The mod has already been taken out. I did a review on that yesterday. Today, this is all about the RDA. So let's take that out of the box. There it is. We'll take a closer look at that in a moment. And let's look at what else is in the box. So as this is the kit, talked about all this a lot yesterday, this is what I want to talk about right here. So this is the spares bag. This is what came in the kit. I would presume if you buy the RDA on its own, you'll get this spares bag as well. Saying that, none of us should presume, presumption being the mother of all fuck-ups.
And what did I say about assumption being the brother of all fuck-ups?
It's the mother of all fuck-ups, stupid.
Well, brother, mother, any other sucker.
However, this is the spares bag I got in my box, and in here you get some cotton, you get 2 coils, it's a dual coil RDA, you also get spare O-rings, you get a solid 510 pin, you get a number of spare grub screws, and you get a little screwdriver, the type you'd get in a Christmas cracker. You also get an Allen key, or a hex tool as our friends across the pond call them. That is your bag of spares. Now, full props to Smoant for providing everything you need in the kit to get going with this RDA or with this Squonk kit. A lot of manufacturers don't send out coils, they don't send out cotton. Really nice to see that Smoant do. Now, at this stage, I don't know how good that cotton is, I don't know how good those coils are, and what looks like just a Muji pad. Not awfully thick. We'll see what that's like because I'm going to use this stuff when I put a build in it. Let's take a closer look at the RDA itself. So this is a dual coil build, 24mm RDA. It's roughly 35mm in height. You've got this knurling around the bottom which kind of suits the mod. Cycloptic airflow on both sides. This is mostly stainless steel, but there's actually some brass in there and gold plating apparently too. 810 resin drip tip. I thought this was Delrin or maybe Ultim. Apparently it's resin drip tip. Standard fitment. I've tried a number of different drip tips and they do all fit in without a problem. There's a nice matchy blue one. Let's get this on a mod so we can have a look at the build deck. So here it is on the mod it was designed for, the Battlestar Squonk. Let's get that lid off, which is all one piece this, by the way. It's all of that you twist for the airflow. Let's take a look at the build deck. So dual post design, flathead screws on the top. I'm not a fan of such small flathead screws. We'll see how they are when we put a build in it. Now you can see there, look, this part here, which is part of the airflow, is angled up. So if we hold the outer chamber next to that, about where it would be, you can see the airflow on the outer chamber is just below, or really the same height as those little channels, but those channels are going to angle the air up onto the coils. Worth bearing in mind when you stick a build in it. Pretty deep juice wells on this tank. Difficult to see because of all that gold plating in there, but pretty deep juice wells. Whether you're going to use that for squonking or dripping, you've got what looks like really decent deep juice wells and quite a bit of space to build on those as well. We will see in just a few moments. All right then, well, let's stick a build in it. Okay, so I used the coils that were in the pack that looked like fused Claptons. I measured the posts there and they are 4.5 mil deep. I gave myself 6 mil on the legs, and I could still do it a little bit more because I really had to pull those coils across to get them in the middle of those, or towards the middle of those post decks. So currently that's reading as 0.14 ohm, so I'm guessing these are 0.3 ohm or rated as 0.3 ohm coils. Let's give this a bit of a pulse, 30 watts. Let's see if we can get those coils heating up evenly. Far from it at the moment. Better. There we go, good enough for me. As for the Muji pad, it looks like it's Japanese cotton. It's thicker than I thought it was actually in the pack, so should be able to take the outer layer off with this like I do with all my Muji pads. I reckon those are 3 mil internal diameter coils that are provided in the kit, so I'm gonna give myself probably around about 8 mils worth, I think. Maybe a centimetre. Pretty deep juice wells on this RDA, so I've cut the cotton around about level with the second O-ring, the bottom O-ring. So that's around about where the juice wells go to. Now the cotton was pretty thin on this, so I'm not going to fluff it out too much, or I'm not going to comb it out too much. I'm just going to give it a bit of a fluff up. Okay, let's see how good this thing squonks. Okay, I can see the juice coming out. Let's see if those coils suck that up. Alrighty then, those wicks now are well and truly saturated.
Moist.
Let's get this top cap back on, which by the way is domed. You can see the doming in there, so hopefully the flavour will be okay. Machining is pretty cool. Don't see any burrs, any defects. Pretty well made by the looks of it. Let's get that top cap back on. So now you can see there's the airflow at the side there. There is no stopping or locking mechanism on this, so it will spin all the way around, and what you do on one side then you do on the other. So with that not having a locking mechanism in place, it might make getting that tank back off that mod a little bit tricky. We will see how it performs. Let's take it back up on top, let's vape on it, let's see what we think. So, the Battlestar RDA, what do I think of it? Well, it's an okay RDA. Nice that it comes as part of the kit. Nice that in the kit you get everything you need to get going. Now I've put some juice in here that I'm very, very familiar with. And at the moment it's tasting a little bit harsh. I've got a feeling really the cotton that they send is not the best. I'd like to give it another go with some of my own Muji pads. However, it vapes okay. Mango. Man, come back again. Okay then, so the Battlestar RDA. Let's give it some yays and some nays. Let's start with the yays. Well, when you're building, there's quite a nice amount of space to build on. That's nice, easy to get your snips in to snip the legs. Those grub screws, even though I'm not a fan of flat head screws, those work okay. They move smoothly up and down, in and out. So that's a plus. What about the looks of it? Well, it kind of looks okay. It looks a little bit retro, really, if I'm honest. It's not the best looking tank. It's not the ugliest either. Obviously, it's designed to suit with the rest of the kit, the mod there. It's okay looking. I'm not a fan of how the drip tip looks. Presumably they gave us this colour drip tip to match, or to try and match, the gold underneath and the gold of the Squonk pin on the mod itself. But yeah, it's okay. It's neither a yay or a nay for me. It's all right looking. Any other yays? Well, I guess with any RDA or an RTA for that matter, a tank is only as good as its builder. And I'm not the best builder. I'm not the most intricate. I'm not the most accurate. I'm a little bit clumsy. That's why I'm a bass player and not a guitarist. Beginner's guitars, as some might say. But it vapes, you know, it's okay.
In my head.
Let's talk about some of the nays then. Okay, so whilst when you're building on it, it does seem like it's quite a lot of room on that build deck, and the juiced wells are pretty deep. I would say that once you've got your coils in, and these are quite small coils, I thought they were a bit too small and I had to really stretch them and pull them over to centre them around the airflow. I'll get onto the airflow in a minute. But even so, even with those coils not being awfully big, and I think they are rated as 0.3s because, yeah, my mod is reading that as a dual coil 0.16. That once they were in and I wicked it, there wasn't an awful lot of space to get my wicking down into those deep juice wells. Yes, juice wells are deep, that's a yay. But getting your wicking down into it was quite tight, so that's a nay. Onto the airflow then. Well, I mean, I like the fact that bottom airflow angled up so the air hits your coils and up it comes with the vapour. However, over Squonk, over drip, and I am an over Squonker. Hello, yeah, I'm the low end, I'm an over Squonker. Hello, yeah, I'm the Vaping Mod and I'm an over dripper. So over drip or over Squonk, which I have done already, and that juice is coming all the way out of those airflows. I would much rather they be top airflow angled down towards the coil, but that's just me. Another nay, don't like the drip tip. It feels okay in the mouth, but I don't like the look of it. I don't think it really suits that RDA very much. I think they could have done a lot better with that. So that's a nay. And another nay is the gold around the bottom. Yes, the gold there to suit the gold on the plunger button. I just think it looks a bit tacky, to be honest. Silver, brushed aluminium, gunmetal grey would have looked much better, much classier than this imitation, apparently gold plated, gold colour on it. How does it squonk? Well, it squonks okay. Difficult, I mean, when you look right down the middle there, yes, you can see your juice coming out of the squonk hole. But it's only at the bottom, so like a lot of different RDAs these days, you really need to get your wicking right, because you're going to rely on the juice from the bottom of those deep juice wells to get your wicks well and truly saturated.
Moist.
Let's give it another go. This is 60 watts, by the way, so 60 watts on a dual coil build, 0.16 ohms. Let her rip, tater chip.
Yeah.
Not bad flavour, not bad clouds. I think the flavour will be better once I get some other cotton in there, but it's not bad. It takes a little while to get going with those dual coils at 60 watts. Let's up that to 80 and just see how quick those coils heat up then. 80 watts, let her rip, tater chip.
Imagination wrongs. Everybody's wrong. Rewrote the song.
Better.
Thoughts become action. Tell me what's happening. What's your mind wrapped in? Wrapped around. Wrapped around. What's your mind wrapped in? Wrapped around. Psyche sabotage. Your Nikes need a job.
Now, I'm not taking massive hits today because I've got a little bit of lurgy. But I'm fighting through it for you guys. So yeah, just a 20 watt increase there. It fires and those coils heat up an awful lot quicker than they do at 60. Well, you'd expect that, but you haven't got to ramp it up that much.
Information log so fast the past recalls. You back the future stars, fade to black the present cause. Pull out some liquor but the homies lost. But the homies lost. Pull out some liquor but the homies lost.
Okay. Let's give this RDA a score. I would give it a 6 out of 10. I love the kit. I love the mod. You may have seen the review I did of the mod itself. If you haven't, I'll put the link up there right now. And I'll put a link at the end of this video as well. So you may have seen it. I love the mod and I wouldn't be without it. If I lost it, I would replace it. That one, however, is it going to become one of my all-day favourite RDAs? Well, for me, no.
Famino!
It's all right. It's okay. It does the job. Not that fussed on how it looks. Not that fussed on a drip tip, although I can change that out, of course. It's just okay. Will I use it regularly? No, not really, because I don't think it performs as well as a lot of other tanks that I have, such as the Dead Rabbit, the Drop Dead, the Dead Rabbit single coil, and others, the Hell Vape Passage, for example. But it's okay. It's all right. If I lost it or someone stole it, you bastards, would I replace it? No, I wouldn't be fussed. You can buy that RDA on its own. It came as a kit for me. I wouldn't replace it. I would choose something else. So, that about wraps it up for this second episode of Don't Believe the Hype.
Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype.
Yes!
So far for Don't Believe the Hype, I've reviewed the Smoant Battlestar mod. Massively recommend it. Go out and get yourself one of those. Especially in a market that is not saturated with dual battery regulated Squonk mods. Definitely recommend this. As for the RDA, in a market that is saturated with many RDAs, many of them very, very good, go out and buy one of those instead would be my recommendation. So this has been another honest hardware review from the Vaping Mod. Be sure to check back soon for another honest hardware review, whether that's a standard or part of the Don't Believe the Hype series, or for another honest flavour review. I've been the Low End. I will catch you next time. Do make sure that you look after yourselves. It is currently the 12th of December 2019, so have a very, very Merry Christmas, y'all. I will catch you again soon. Peace.
I'ma make you say in my head, memory. Those voices.